So Nifty gap down today. Yesterday short got stopped out and had entered it. I entered a short more or less at day's low yesterday, and I closed that trade today at open. So this candle somewhere I closed it. Then price pulled back and it broke this low. So I went short over here, and it has got stopped out right now. Okay. So I had a false trade over here, a trade that got stopped out, and now I'm just trying this new thing, but I don't know if it will work or not. So I've gone long on Bank Nifty. So what I've noticed is when such bases form, usually price breaks a little above the cloud, out of the cloud, and especially since there's a gap over here, it can probably go to fill this gap. So it will probably test this level somewhere here. So I've actually gone long on Bank Nifty right now, uh, at 37,600 more or less. I don't have a stop set, but it will be this. This will be my stop. Um, so let's see. I'm expecting price to go to 37,800, 37,900 actually. Uh, and I'll close it over here, 37,880. But actually, it might just go to somewhere over here, okay, midway and reverse. So in that case, I'll close it even at the top of the cloud. So uh, like this is just an experiment. I don't know how it will work, and I have the margin of safety in terms of profits to experiment. So yeah, I'm doing that. Um, let's see now whether it pays off or not. And since we're here, let's even look at Nifty chart. So the Nifty is very interesting. Uh, like I mean, it gapped down. So Bank Nifty at least gapped down very close to day's low, right? Nifty structure is very odd. So Nifty had a major gap down. Okay. Um, like I mean, it was close to a day's low too, but it pulled back and filled this gap, right? And then it started moving down. So it looked like it's going to give a convincing short, but it didn't. And here it pulled back and went inside the cloud. So right now it's coming not back down. But the interesting part is this: the 1 day chart. Okay, you see this formation, like it's just in between. That's very difficult to interpret. So it has bounced off the cloud, and so let's look at Nifty spot actually rather than the futures. So just a second. Yeah, so Nifty spot also is the same. Uh, that was the future only. So Nifty spot is in the cloud and it has reversed, okay, unlike the futures. But I think it's going to close above the cloud, in which case this trend gets negated, like it starts to become a bullish pattern. And this is a good retracement somewhere around these highs over here. So it can take support of this candle's high where it has stopped and start a upward march. The important thing is the budget week is coming up, so the market can be very volatile now. So first of all will be the budget. Today is the 21st of Jan, so like it's almost a week before the budget, 2 weeks before the budget. So market starts going a little haywire around this time. But I think it's going to hold this level. It's going to reverse from here. So, counting on something like that happening. But as of this moment, Nifty doesn't look very convincing. So even on the 5 minute time frame. So let's go back to the futures. Right, it's not a convincing short. It's not a convincing long. I mean, look at the bearishness that has been there. Right, for it to actually break out and turn bullish, it's going to have to break this high and so intraday longs are very difficult. So even this Bank Nifty long is actually not very guaranteed trade sort of thing. It's just an experiment that is it, will it not, something like that. So if you look at 15 minutes, okay, it has to it's come up, but it might take resistance at the kitchen center. And same with Nifty 15-minute charts, right? It's down, Okay, but it's taking resistance at the moving average, and it's just very directionless right now at this moment. So my initial target was way up at this level, right? 37,925. But considering the weakness, it may not achieve. So I just cleared all the noise, went for 5 minute with fractals to identify the swing by swing close, and applied a Fibonacci. So Fibonacci has pulled back to 38%, which gives me a target of 61%, somewhere about 850. So I'm actually going to lower my target further to this 850 level, because it makes sense that if there is a pullback, it pulls back here and then moves lower. So I'm going to just use it slightly lower than that. Okay. Yeah. So this is my new target: 37, 845, 850, somewhere over there. It might go all the way here. But I think I'll be happy closing this trade here. I mean, it makes up for this loss which I make here. It's a decent gain. Like, I think I'll turn positive, right? Yeah, so I'm down 5,000 here. Okay, and if I exit at, let's just record this. I went long Bank Nifty at 37 623, and I'm going to exit at 37 842 on one lot. 37 842. Yeah, so that makes up for the loss that I made of 248 points. It gives me 218 points, plus I had made 40 points here and yesterday's trade. So overall, it's a decent position. Like, I don't mind this. So 842 is good. I mean, if it goes to 900, that would be a handsome profit, right? 6,600 after expenses. So fine with it. And since I now have Fibonacci level, this also becomes my stop loss. But I'll use it as a stop loss only once the price is taken out. So just for context, this low, uh, 37,570 will be my stop loss. So we can even look at the risk reward. So that's yeah, 4 times the risk reward ratio. But again, it's against my system. OBV, let's see the other factors. I mean, so RSI is definitely rising, right? There you go. So OBV was, just clear this. So OBV was here somewhere, and since then it has been rising. So OBV is rising. VWAP was flat, right? VWAP is flat, so that's actually a no to that question. It's rising actually, and 5 candles for the day. Yes, RSI is falling. Yes, so I mean, except for the Ichimoku system, which is the base of the entire system, everything else is bullish. So, like, I mean, I don't know. I think it should manage to pull back from here and go. But shorts are unlikely today. Let's see. Like, any more shorts are unlikely at the moment, unless it comes below the day's low. So I might actually get a short on Nifty. So if Nifty breaks this, I will go short. Right? There's a chance for a potential short here. Bank Nifty is come even lower. Okay, it's breaking below the cloud at the moment. That means a 50% retracement. So my target comes to 820, even lower. It's fine. Let's just sit through this trade. It's an experiment after all. But yeah, that's it. Yeah. So finally, the trade has been triggered and it's going out of the cloud. So I'm not changing my target. So what has happened is the retracement was actually 50%. So that gives me a lower target actually than what I've set my order at. So just show it to you, right? So this pulled back to 50%. So it should go to 50% somewhere here, 820. But I still think it was like, I mean, based on the momentum, it's going to go much higher. So I'm actually modifying this order. If it would just let me, I'm forcing to cancel order. I don't know why it's not modifying. Yeah, okay. So cancel the order I mean, this was my target, but I think based on how it has moved, and considering that it is 1:30 in the afternoon, 1:20, crazy moves of time, right? So it's probably going to go to 890. So I'm going to use, um, I'm going to actually just monitor this trade, and I'm going to actually use a stop loss over here at 720, 730. So I think it's going to go to this level, 915, right? 920 something. Uh, Even though it's met its target, right? 816 is my target, based on the Fibonacci level, but I think it can go even higher. Uh, 850, 860, 900. So I'm going to use 889 as where I exit, and use this high as my stop loss, 690. So I mean, if it comes back inside the cloud, I'll close the trade. In simple words, 670. Let's say 670. But I'm pretty sure it's going to head higher to this level. Um, yeah, let's see. And just going down on a smaller time frame. This is the 2-minute chart, right? So 2-minute chart. This is my target. Sorry about that. This is my target, 957. Right, so it should be able to go comfortably there. So yeah, I'm going to use this 930, 900, 930 level as my target. At the very least, 850 it should be able to test. So interestingly, 2-minute cloud has turned quite bullish. So this target is actually quite easily achievable, but I don't trade the 2-minute time frame, so I don't know. And also in that case, my stop loss is going to be 936,680, more or less, which is fine. I don't mind that. So yeah, I'm going to move my stop loss and close this trade at 930. I mean, 900 is well set the alert, and I expect it to go to 930. Yes. The way it put it back from my target now makes me regret the decision of not closing this trade at my target. Damn it. It's probably going to get stopped out. Yeah, it's at 690. My stop loss is at 675. So this trade should close in the next 1 or 2 seconds or minutes. So irritating. But I mean, good learning. That if it forms a good bottom, your targets are met, and there's a false breakdown here, okay, towards a further level. So here I got triggered in a short, right? If I'm stopped out, price enters the cloud, I could look for a Fibonacci sort of setup and exit. Since the cloud is not in direction of the trade, it's not going to reach the cloud top. It's going to stop somewhere in between, and it has stopped exactly in between, if you see here. So this is a good target, and it helps recover most of the losses also that I could have incurred, right? So I was down like 5,000, and I'm at probably I'm at down 3,000. So I've recovered 2,000, and had I exited over there, I would have been probably in down 1,000 point move, right? So that's a positive learning. I'm experimenting still. Like, I'm not going to confidently trade this. It's still like, okay, if it happens, it's fine. Why I'm not going to trade this often is because it can lead to over trading. Like, oh, there's a possible trade here, and force a trade where there isn't one. So I don't want to do that. And since we are talking about this, so Nifty created the same sort of setup, right? So there was a fib level here, 38%, and it has gone to its target of close to 60, 68%, right? So this was a similar setup. I'll show you. If you look at the intraday, so unlike Bank Nifty though, it didn't trigger a short over here anywhere. Like it didn't break the stage low, but it entered into the cloud, and it hasn't gone all the way to this target. It stopped midway at the Fibonacci target. So yeah, this does happen, and it's a useful learning now for me. I know someone else who trades this Fibonacci level, and he has often got trades where I don't have any, and they usually close over here. So when he takes the trade, I like say, this cloud high will be the target, but it stops midway. So that's how I've come across this discovery. But I'm not very sure that I'm going to, trade it. Like look for this as a trade. It's a useful tool to have, but yeah, I don't know if it's the best tool or my go-to tool as of now. So the Bank Nifty trade played exactly out as expected. It just hit my stop loss and I got closed. So lesson learned, that this momentum is usually very weak and is probably not going to sustain. Very unlikely to sustain. Okay, if this happens, that's number one learning. And now the second thing, Nifty on 5-minute time frame. So this is Nifty spot. Wait, I'll just open Nifty futures. Here we go. Yeah, so Nifty futures have broken below the cloud. It closed below the cloud once, below the VWAP as well. So I'm thinking that if this low is taken out, I'm probably going to get a short in Nifty futures. So I'm waiting for that trade to be triggered. Only issue is that the VWAP has been very flat throughout the day. Okay, so this may just be a test of the VWAP and might go up. But if this low is broken, then the VWAP hasn't managed to sustain. Right. Second thing is RSI has dipped. Third thing is Chico will be in open space below this low. And the last thing was so this is the opening OBV somewhere over here, and since then OBV has sort of risen. Okay, but it's honestly flat. So I think it's probably a slight mild buying was there. People closing their shorts on yesterday, but it could trigger another short. Only challenge now though is my target. So fine, I get a short, but where do I close it? Do I close it here at this low, swing low, right? Which is yesterday, today's day low, or or does it go all the way down to this, which is my target, which is the cloud target, 17,520, or we heard 17,400. I can't say because right now it's two, it's almost two, right? So how this trade move is a question. Okay, so Bank Nifty on the other hand, if it triggers the trade, right, it's a big if at this moment since it's quite higher. Its target is much clearer. One second, let me pull this down. Yeah, right. So Bank Nifty has reached this target, right? Now this is the next target here, 37,000, right? So Bank Nifty would probably be a much cleaner trade, but it's not going to get triggered, right? So there's no point not taking a trade because I'm hopeful for some other trade to be triggered, right? So I'm considering shorting Nifty now. Next candle is probably when this low will be taken out and our trade will be triggered. And the stop loss is quite comfortably close, 662, and I'm trading at 620. So 30 point away stop loss. Even if I enter at 600, for example, 50 points away, which is fine. It's not very bad or too far away. And so yeah, looking for a trade now in Nifty. Just might get triggered. I'll actually enter not below this low, but below this low. So 599 is where I'll enter. 17,599. Yeah. Bank Nifty, I should have exited when I had the chance. A slight regret there, but I'm going to take a regret-driven trade, long or short. I'll take a long if this high is taken out after the future cloud turns bullish. So at this moment it's mildly bullish, but in that case the target would just be 930, 940. So it depends where my stop loss is in that case for a long trade to be taken. Yeah, so that's the update as of now. Interestingly, the last thing I wanted to discuss was the S&P futures. Excuse me. So S&P futures, I've are a good sign of what happens to close to the day close, like especially so they had gapped down, but they have pulled up, right? I mean, this is a 5 minute chart. Okay, so they were down and they are now rising quite well, but can't say what happens by uh, the market expiry time. So they might just go even lower and break everything, and in which case uh, both Nifty and Bank Nifty trades would be triggered. So yeah, I'm going to place an order. Um, I don't intend to carry this trade. Uh, like last 2 days, I've violated my system and carried trades, but that's not a good idea. I mean, it's taking too much of a risk and it's a big gamble. So no more carrying trades. Not overnight. I'm just going to wait for this trade to be triggered and close it at day end. So probably it will just reach 850, 845 levels, and I'll be fine with that. And Bank Nifty, probably that's when it will trigger a short. Uh, but yeah, as of now, no trades. Talk about a reversal. I mean, this is like a complete bear trap. If anyone went short over here, they're completely screwed. They just pulled back from there and it's going to keep heading upward. Like this is a proper bear trap setup. I mean, it was weak, weak, weak. And it showed some sign of strength. Just went down just enough to get some greedy traders to enter, and it's screwing with them. So my trade hasn't been triggered. I'm actually going to keep it open because I mean this could just fail and bears could actually take control and short below this, so bring it down below this. So I have that trade open, but the way it's setting up, I think if Bank Nifty takes out this high, I'll probably go long instead of Nifty. I mean, if Nifty takes out this high, also it's a good decent gain. But like I'm just a bit biased towards Bank Nifty because this gap is still wide open, so it can go all the way here. Whereas I mean, Nifty also has the same trade sort of, right? But it's just a matter of preference. Like I just expect more volatility and sharpness in moves in case of Bank Nifty. And let's just look at the 15-minute fib level. So okay, so here's the interesting part. If that breaks out, the target of Bank Nifty versus Nifty. Okay, so this is a 50% retracement. Takes me to a target of 38,100, 38,065. So say 38,000. Okay, close it at 38,000. So that is 800 to 38,000. That's 200 points. So 100 Nifty equivalent points. And Nifty 15 minutes. Okay, so here you see the retracement is very deep, right? So it's not really a good setup over here in terms of Fibonacci. Just for the sake of it, uh, at this level, it is more than an 80% retracement, and even if I take it all the way down, it's a 61%. So that's a target of 17,790 from 23 to 90. That is 60 points. So that's why Bank Nifty is more lucrative trade in terms of. I mean, the margin required is almost the same, so why not capitalize it on it here? Okay. So going back to the intraday Ichimoku charts. Um, yeah, so very tempted to go long on Bank Nifty over this side, and I'm probably going to take the trade also when it does trigger, if it does trigger, and I'm still expecting a short as well over here. So because this might just fail, and because there isn't much momentum here, so even before this gets triggered, Nifty might start reversing, pull this back down with it. Can't really say. Markets do what markets do. Although it's a Friday, so Friday, I mean, short traders will probably want to cover their positions because it's scary to hold positions through Monday. Same for longs. So it's a question of who's more confident, the bulls or the bears, right? So let's see how the day progresses. There's a lot of indecisiveness in the markets at the moment. But yeah, this is a good sign for Nifty that it held above the VWAP for a long time. Pulled back strong and held above it. And Bank Nifty has a nice upward trending VWAP, which it hasn't even bothered to test. It's just going up. So yeah, that's it. I don't think I'm going to get a short trade on Bank Nifty, that's certain. And Nifty might trigger it short, but uh, I think Bank Nifty is going to trigger a long even before that. So no, I don't think I might get any trade at all. It might just remain here range bound for the rest of the day. So this was a bear trap plus a bull trap. I mean, anyone who went long anyone who had like a stop and reverse sort of system in place is also going to get a whipsawed right now. Like, so this was brutal. I'm pretty sure there's many people who once this went this short and reversed went long here and now are getting sucked back down. Um, but I'm still keeping my trigger below this. I mean, maybe I'll move it to slightly higher, 601 or something. But man, this is brutal. Like I'm just going to add volumes just to see if, sorry, volume chart, right? Yeah. So you see, it came down here, and here there was some selling. Okay, then nothing here, and then these volumes just, I mean, it's just brutal. Like it's equal to this. Like everyone went long here, and then on the next one, some more went long, and now they're screwed. Seriously funny. This is a bad trap. And worst part, and I'm feeling that because I almost got trapped in this. I mean, I was considering preempting and just going short here. Just that I put a stop loss lower, and the idea was when this got triggered, I was thinking that oh, maybe a long is going to get triggered, and I would have probably gone long as well. So just saved by waiting. The patience saved me. And Bank Nifty also same story. And now a long might be triggered over here for this, but it just went met the cloud target, and so let's see. Hmm. I'll actually not move my order. I'll leave it at the 600 level. So at 599, I'll make it 600. But I mean, crazy. It's, it's probably going to not get triggered at all. So the Nifty short has triggered and it's kind of moved well so far. But my issue is that it is 224. So it's probably not going to head much lower than the day's low. I have a short in place, but I'm a little worried about this trade. And Bank Nifty has broken the VWAP now. Trade is sort of triggered, but let's see. No entry here.